Welcome back to another show, Hanging with the Homeless. Like I said, we're not going to have any reruns anymore. We don't believe in them, and we kind of get tired of watching them ourselves, so we're going to do live shows every week. I left off with, county officials and politicians, and it's not just the county, the state senators, House of Representatives, the ones in D.C., they need to get from behind these desks and they need to come out and see the people. Not just get reports from the field or this and that. They need to come out and actually walk the woods. They need to go into poor developments and see how people are suffering in this county. Because unless you see the suffering, you are not going to find the solutions. All this money that's going into medical rest, when other people are being denied. I went into the budget. A lot of people don't go into budget, but I see where almost $170,000 is spent on new furniture. 1 point, I don't know what million for the Metacrest building for county services. My thoughts on it, this economy, do we really, I sit on a $50 chair that's lasted 3 years. A refurbished chair for $270, a $2,000 desk. I'm not downing county employees, but, a little bit of thinking here. Why can't we do the same thing and say to the EDC or the Chamber of Commerce, who I did a lot of research on, and they are doing a good job. They are working to bring people in. Why can't we take some money that, we magically find, or we borrow, and let the EDC bring more jobs in? Give the EDC more to work with instead of our county officials trying to play EDC. Their job should be to represent all the people, not be out, with their little projects and pets and peeves. Let the EDC, let those work and give them the money. Let's create jobs with that money. Let's clean up Citrus County and have it where people want to come in. If they can find money for these projects, $2 million for this, $2 million for that, this study, that study, then we can find money to create jobs and get the business park done. And I feel that they should let the EDC handle that, and we need to create jobs. The biggest problem in this county is lack of jobs. Today I have Candace with me, who we refer to lovingly as Granny. She's Granny. Granny, what did you think the first time you heard the word you were going to be homeless?
Just started looking for shelters because I knew that's where I'd have to go. My roommate had just passed away, and the woman that was upstairs in the office there was nice enough to let me stay up there for a little while. And so I finally found one shelter that I could go to.
What do you think about the mission?
I like it. It's helping each other the way it should be.
Why do you think the mission is different than other shelters? I know you've been to other shelters. What do you think is the difference between the mission and other shelters?
More open. You can go out, look for a job, and still have a place to come back to.
You volunteer a lot at Habitat, and I know they love you over there.
Yeah.
And now you have finally got your disability, thanks to Sean.
Right.
You're now making your partial disability. And for those out there, Granny is looking for a job on a horse farm. Yes, she's 62, but she can outwork most men I've ever seen. And Habitat will vouch for that because they love her. And what do you think about volunteering for Habitat? Because Habitat does a lot of good.
It gives me something to do.
And why do you want to go to a horse farm? Be honest with the public out there. There's a lot of people watching.
I love animals, and horses are my first love.
And you don't want to quit working just because you're 62?
No, I don't. But a lot of places won't hire me because I have seizures.
Yeah. When's the last time you had a seizure?
Oh, January last year.
So it's been almost a year.
Yeah.
But now that you're on your medication, you're not having your seizures. That was a big part of it.
Right.
Granny just wants to live out her life with what she wants to do, which is a horse farm. And Granny is a very good woman. She knows how to cook. She makes breakfast for a lot of people. She's wonderful to me. If anybody out there has a horse farm or a farm where they need help, let me tell you, she can outwork a lot of men. At 62 years old, she's not giving up on life. She's not giving up on working. What would you have to say, because you're around the girls and the guys every day? You know how we're everybody's stereotyped that they're this and that.
Right.
What do you think of how that the homeless are stereotyped?
We're getting a bum deal on it because it's got us in the wrong categories.
You live with everybody every day. Do you think they're all a bunch of criminals?
No.
And have you ever seen one
Just
twist their
down
head?
on our luck, that's all.
Have you ever seen one of them twist their head the whole way around, spit green stuff?
No.
So they're ordinary people, is
Right.
what we're trying to tell. Where would you be if it wasn't for the mission?
I'd probably be on the street.
Well, we love you, and I thank you, and I know it was, you know, you've been here and there because of all the shuffles we're doing, but if there's anyone out there that has a horse farm, Granny would just like to die happy. And I think she's going to be stubborn. She's going to outlast a lot of us. And if you ask the people at Habitat, Granny works. She's not lazy at all. And at 62 years old, I give her a lot of credit. And I thank you for being on the show. You're going to be on again. But Granny volunteers many hours at Habitat each week, and they love her. In fact, they got mad at me because I transferred to a different shelter thinking she'd be happy, and Habitat didn't speak to me for quite a while now. But she's back at Habitat where she loves it, and I will tell that Habitat helps so many people. Many people think that they just help people, you know, build houses. The Habitat helps anybody in need with stuff that they need, and we praise and thank God for having them as one of our partners. We'll be back soon for our next segment, but Granny, thank you. We love you. Let me tell you, she's a tough old gal. If you need somebody to help, she's your girl. And God bless, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.